Good, happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this new newscast right here on the Riley King Network, your 9 p.m. news and weather. Let's get started. First up, no bail for Danville man accused of killing wife. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Okay, Trey.
Hi, Joe Martin, Ford.com. Coming now for huge discounts.
Giving you the best deal by far, unique.
Up to $11,000 off on all Ford F-Series trucks. Brand new Ford F-150 starting at only $27,900, or a new Ford Super Duty starting at only $29,900. How about a new Ford Fusion or Ford Escape? Pick one, only $19,900, or lease one for only $199 per month. Plus, save even more if you qualify for any of these extra Ford factory rebates.
Richard Moore appeared in Plaistow Circuit Court this morning by video from the Rockingham County Jail, where he is being held for the murder of 51-year-old Joanne Boucher. Her body was found at her Danville home last week.
The state is alleging that you knowingly caused the death of another, to wit Joanne Boucher, whose date of birth was February 21st, 1965, by stabbing her multiple times with a knife.
Authorities say they believe Boucher was killed sometime around September 2nd, but her body wasn't found until a 911 call was made 3 days later. Officials would not say who made that emergency call. Moore is a registered sex offender with a 1998 aggravated felonious sexual assault conviction out of Hillsborough County. He was arrested in Manchester last Friday, but his address is listed as Boucher's home in Danville. Moore appeared emotional, wiping his eyes several times during today's very brief hearing. Authorities would not talk about a possible motive.
I don't want to elaborate, on their relationship, but I can tell you it was not random.
Moore will be back in court later this month for a probable cause hearing. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Pedestrian struck by train in Rochester. A train hit a girl Monday in Rochester, but her injuries were not life-threatening. Rochester police said the high school-age girl was crossing the tracks when she was hit by a freight train. She was treated at the scene and was taken to Frisbee Memorial Hospital. Police said. The Rochester Fire Department said the girl was hit along the tracks between Summer and Portland Streets. Police said the girl was not crossing at the designated crossing area and might have been distracted. Candidates seek final votes on last day of campaigning. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Hi, it's Joe Martin from Ford.com. Coming now for huge discounts.
Giving you the best deal by far, unique.
Up to $11,000 off on all Ford F-Series trucks. Brand new Ford F-150 starting at only $27,900, or a new Ford Super Duty starting at only $29,900. How about a new Ford Fusion or Ford Escape? Pick one, only $19,900, or lease one for only $199 per month. Plus, save even more if you qualify for any of these extra Ford factory rebates.
Westside native Steve Marchand was on home turf this final day of campaigning, stopping by Shea Vashon.
Every day that goes by, I got folks switching from one to the others that they met very early, but they didn't seal the deal.
Colin Van Ostern hit the streets and went out canvassing in Nashua, his campaign confident of a strong showing on Tuesday.
I believe we need to keep our state moving forward, and I'm the candidate who's been part of that progress.
Mark Connolly shook hands and spoke with the media at the Bridge Cafe in Manchester.
I'm a person with a vision who wants to make New Hampshire a safer and stronger place.
On the Republican side, just down Elm Street, Frank Edelblu was chatting with voters and business owners.
It feels like right now we've got a lot of momentum on our side, and that we're hitting on all cylinders, and we're going to be able to get it done tomorrow.
Jeannie Forrester kicked the tires at Weed Auto in Concord. She told reporters she's proud of her campaign.
I think I've had the right attitude going into it, which is I just want to serve the state, and I'm having fun and listening to what's important to people.
And it was a busy political day at the Puritan Back Room in Manchester. Ted Gatzis stopped by looking for Republican votes.
We've got high energy. We've got great support. We've got a lot of people that are doing calls on the phones.
Chris Sununu campaigned at the Puritan too, with former Manchester Mayor and Executive Councilor Ray Wazorik by his side.
Our campaign begins and ends with people. We've just been pounding the pavement, not just here in Manchester, but all over the state.
Things have been relatively sedate on the Democratic.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And tomorrow is voting, so check with your local town or city and find out where you will be voting and when the polls open in your city or town. Police searching for suspect after rocks thrown at Nashua Mosque. Let's take a listen to this video from New Hampshire One News.
At this point, I completely see with the time of this event that, it's reasonable to believe that, this could be related to some type of hate crime.
The Muslim community in Nashua is shaken tonight after a mosque was the target of vandalism on the anniversary of 9/11.
NH1's Jennifer Courier spoke to police today. She has details about the search for the suspects.
During a prayer service here at the Islamic Society of Greater Nashua last night, a rock crashed through the window behind me. No one was hurt, but police are questioning the timing of this incident.
It's a devastating experience. My daughter, even when she heard it, she slept with us instead of in her room. I said, don't worry, this is not that place, this is our home.
The window has been removed, but shards of glass remain on the ground outside the mosque that was the target of vandalism around 8:15 Sunday night. Within the same half hour, police received another call for juveniles throwing rocks at a nearby park sign, leading them to believe this likely wasn't a hate crime.
At this point in time, there's nothing to say directly that this was a hate crime. However, we will investigate and make sure that there is no link to what it being a mosque and the anniversary of September 11th.
Witnesses in the mosque told police they saw 3 people walking away from the scene, possibly 2 males and 1 female. They said all 3 were white and looked like juveniles, matching the description from the other call. Some community members have planned a vigil at the mosque tonight at 8:30 to give local worshipers peace of mind.
My message to them is that we will investigate this thoroughly, and that safety here in the city of Nashua is important to us, and we look forward to working together.
While police don't think this was a...
Okay, and there you go on that report. Also in Florida, a mosque set on fire, arson at same mosque attended by Orlando shooter. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
To other news tonight into Florida, where investigators say a fire at a mosque was in fact arson and may be a hate crime. The mosque was once attended by the man who killed 49 people at that Pulse nightclub in June. And tonight here, we are now seeing the surveillance video from next door. Shows a flicker of bright light that a suspect running through a yard and out a gate. As ABC's Gio Benitez reports tonight, authorities now want your help.
The 911 calls come in. It's just after midnight.
Oh, there goes the... Okay, don't go anywhere near it, okay?
Flames are just going up like crazy. Firefighters battled the flames for almost 5 hours. The Islamic Center of Fort Pierce, Florida was badly damaged. It's the same one attended by Omar Mateen, the man responsible for the June rampage at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando that killed 49 people. Surveillance cameras first picking up a man arriving on a motorcycle. Minutes later, he's running from the scene. Flames from the inferno lighting up the night.
While the male was leaving, the male was shaking his hand. It is possible that the male sustained burns on that hand.
Mateen's father attends services here too. Supporters say its worshippers have been harassed since the massacre. The fire gutting the mosque on the 15th anniversary of 9/11 and at the start of one of Islam's holiest holidays, Eid al-Adha.
Imagine waking up in the morning, wanting to go to your church on Christmas Day, only to find it burnt.
And David, tonight federal authorities tell ABC News they are investigating.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Hillary Clinton didn't disclose pneumonia. Didn't think it would be that a big a deal. Hillary Clinton said she didn't disclose that she had pneumonia last week because she didn't think it was going to be that a big of a deal, she said in an interview Monday night. Clinton's health has long dogged her on the campaign trail, but come into focus this weekend when she lost her balance outside a van after a 9/11 ceremony in New York City Sunday. Traders watch for more volatility. As volatility has picked up in the last 2 days, traders are praising the latest Fed speak and other factors that could determine whether stocks hold their gains. U.S. officials, Navy aircraft threatened with shoot-down by Iran. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
Tonight, fresh reason for concern following the close encounter of a Russian jet and a U.S. reconnaissance plane. The Russians coming within 10 feet of the U.S. aircraft.
On the deck, below the bridge wing.
Just the latest in a series of Russian provocations directed at the U.S. military in the air and at sea this year. Defense Secretary Ash Carter warning the Russian government this week that the U.S. is watching and is ready to act.
Make no mistake, we will defend our allies, the principled international order, and the positive future it affords us. We will counter attempts to undermine our collective security.
And with Russian aggression not decreasing, some see a deliberate strategy at work.
The fact that they are engaging the U.S. in such a dramatic fashion indicates that they are willing to challenge the U.S. at every step of the way.
Bridge-to-bridge calls were conducted, no response.
And Russia is hardly the only country attempting to provoke.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Now let's take a look at your weather. Here's a live look on radar right now. As you see on radar, it's going to be a clear night in the sky this evening. Now let's take a look at your weather system. On your weather system right now, your wind speed peak is 2 miles per hour. Average is 0. Current is 1 in between the west and northwest. Your temperature is 54 degrees. Humidity is 83%. Dew point is 49. Your forecast is sun/rain, and your pressure is 30.06. Now let's take a look at your next 7-day forecast. Here's a look at your next 7-day forecast. And that does it for your 9 p.m. news and weather. Have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for Riley's Kingdom of Weather and the Riley King Newscast. Goodbye, everyone.